We always have the choice to affirm the power of truth. We always have the choice to lean on our understanding of reality, which is the allness of good, that law of good that is always operating. Hi, I'm Lisa Taylor, and we talk about the law of good here. And when we lean into that and we're governed by it, we can change our life for the better. So we were having a conversation in this Choice Matters community today. And one of the analogies that came up is, those cardboard cutouts of people where it's life size and it looks just like the person, but it's standing next to you. It's like you're standing next to your cardboard cutout. The cardboard cutout is that material view of you that says you are limited, you're breakable, you're going down, you can get pushed over easily. You're standing right next to it. And I think sometimes it feels like there are two versions of us. There's like this spiritual us, and then there's this material us. Well, the material version of you, that sense of you that is material, is just like the cardboard cutout. It's like you can crumple it up and throw it away and get rid of it because it has nothing to do with who you really are. And when we affirm the reality, when we affirm that truth always cancels the error, the truth of who you are is always the power. The cardboard cutout doesn't have any power. Like you can do this with anything that you're facing. It's like when you're thinking of a friend who's just gotten a diagnosis and you're really distraught about their experience and the pain that they're going through and all the things, like we can choose to see them as material, see them as this sort of material form, kind of the cardboard cutout, or we can put the outfit on them that is the spiritual, the truth, understanding that they are a spiritual idea of God and that they are governed by this law, this truth. We can affirm the truth for them in our own thought and hold them high in our thought, not see them as material and suffering and going down, but have that level of compassion that is divine love that's going to meet the human need. We're going to know the ideas that we need to share. We're going to know the ideas that will help support and change the situation. That place of divine intuition, spiritual intuition that we all have. It is that internal, that spiritual GPS that's inside all of us. When we tune into it and we act on it, stuff changes. We were having dinner with some friends, fairly new friends, and uh, he was talking about his research for 45 years and this. I don't want to go into all the details of it, but just to say that I was prompted to say to him, you need to talk to the White House about that. Like, you need to go talk to the president about that, which sounded like so far-fetched. But it was this intuition that came to me. You need to go, this is important. You need to go do this. Well, long story short, a few weeks later, he was interviewed by CNN, that there was some news like that kind of went viral and there were different things. He ended up having an audience at the White House and then had audience with the president. And the president said, hey, whatever you need, we will get this resolved. And it was like a matter of weeks from that moment of that conversation where that intuition came to me. I have no connection. I had no way. I had a few connections that this person knows that person, might have been able to get him there, but the doors opened and the path was clear. And that one comment, they came back and said, if you hadn't said that, we never would have pursued this. So you never know what that little intuitive thought is going to lead you to. You never know that one declaration of truth, that one declaration based in your understanding that truth always wins, that truth always outweighs error, that there's that moment of realizing that the possibility of more good is always available. If we have that understanding, the faith to acknowledge that, claim it, state it, put it out there, you're going to change the world because God is always good and good is always the law operating and the possibility of more good is always available. So we get to be the instruments of that. We get to listen to that spiritual intuition and put it out there, even if it seems crazy, because it seemed crazy during that dinner. It seemed like, well, I mean, I can say that, but I don't really have a connection to give you. But one thing led to another. And the possibility, opening thought to the possibility of more good, of this problem, this was a massive problem, being resolved. Now it's resolved. Now the way is clear for it to be resolved, whereas before there was legislation that would not allow it to be resolved. And so now the way is clear. It's like, okay. And it's just from one idea. And from that place inside of you that claims that truth always outweighs error, that the possibility of good is always present, that the law of God is always operating, that health is always the possibility. When you look at that friend with the diagnosis, do you know that that's not the end of the story? That diagnosis, that's not the end of the story. God always has the final word. Truth always wins in the end. So we get to hold on to that. We get to express it. We get to acknowledge it because it's just the acknowledgement of truth. There's that line. There's a line from Miscellaneous Writings. This is Mary Baker Eddy, who I quote all the time because she's got so much amazing wisdom in her words. She says, in many instances, the blessing came before the treatment was finished, and often we proved that only a thought of the power of truth was sufficient to give relief. Only a thought of the power of truth. So just acknowledging that truth is the power, that truth always wins, just acknowledging that, having that understanding, declaring that, acknowledging it, that's all it takes. Sometimes that's all it takes. And then there's always treatment that you can follow up with, but you got to start with the acknowledgement, start with the understanding, start with standing on the platform of, you know what, the Christ truth is the power of God, and it is always present, and we can always declare the truth in the face of whatever error is coming up. So if you like these ideas, share them. If you know somebody who has good intuition and doesn't ever say it, share this with them and let them know that just speaking that one little intuitive thought, that may be the key to unlocking the solution for the whole planet. So don't ever hesitate to speak the truth, because share this out. It may be important for somebody to hear this message, and the one thing they say is going to be the thing that unlocks a solution for everybody. Okay, lots of love. Talk to you soon. Bye.